as innovative companies in the future. And yesterday at 12 o'clock at this very stage, the big investors, the big businessmen have been discussing of why we're still making business in Ukraine. And the end of their vision was that we have cool talents, cool people, cool cases here, and we're going to see those cases and talents. The six of them are going to be here on this stage. He's six people who are dealing with innovation businesses, but they're also being united by the idea that they're coming from Ukraine and they're developing their businesses in Ukraine and abroad as well. This is the joint characteristics for all of our participants. I don't want to be presenting them one by one. I want you to do the long round of applause, and I'm going to read them out so that they would get on the stage. Please welcome the Born in Ukraine panel. Please welcome Yaroslav Azhnyuk, co-founder and the CEO for Petcube, Garry, the General Director of Doc.ua, Maxim Pecherskyi, CEO of PromoRepublic, Mykhailo, Obod, the co-founder, Neutronic and co-founder of LaserTag.net, and Stanislav Dmytryk, the co-founder of Rocket, Ivan Altsybieiev, COO, COP, and co-founder of Reface. So did I say that all right? Good. Good. So I have stolen the mic from someone. I think that I want to give it back. Good. Okay, good. Now each and every one of us have their own mic. Oh, I can even hear myself better with this mic. Okay, hi there, guys. Hi there, guys. Now everyone here at this stage, thank you very much for your support as well. So we just wanted not to talk a lot about those cases. You might have known about those projects. They're all from different sectors. We wanted to recall our young time, and we will have 30 seconds for each and every one in the elevator pitch presentation of our company. Let us start with Mykhailo, who's sitting on the left hand from my side, and let us already get you into context. Our panel is called Born in Ukraine. The teams are all coming from Ukraine. So please, I would like to remind you that you have the Telegram bot to pose questions. You have a lot of companies that have been developing for quite a long time. The companies that have started with just an idea. We do not know what is it that you want to ask your guys about, but please join the discussion, send your questions. We will have some time for the answers. So please, Mykhailo, let's start. Yes, hi everyone. We are producing equipment for entertainment businesses in Kharkiv. Laser tag, there's paintball. There's laser paintball. So we're doing laser tag. We build it all. We're making plastics. We're doing Android applications, iOS applications. So we're doing software and hardware. We're doing it for the entertainment centers on one side. So we have like the Disneyland in Saudi Arabia, in South Korea. Or we also producing the environment and equipment for education. For example, the Energy Department of the US. And our key direction that we are providing, creating the hardware projects. Right now we have 1,200 locations and we sell into 60 countries. We only have 3% of all of our turnover in Ukraine. That's very cool. Garry. Hi everyone. Thank you very much for the invitation. My name is Garry. My name is Garry Andreasyan, and I am the CEO of Doc.ua company. Doc.ua has been born in Ukraine 8 years ago. We are now presented in 7 countries abroad already. Just to make it briefly, that is a medical online hub, and we are making healthcare available. Okay, that's 1.5 million users monthly. Yes, that's true. Cool. Let's give you a round of applause. Okay, Yaroslav. Hi everyone, my name is Yaroslav Azhnyuk. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Petcube. And what we are producing, we are doing the interactive cameras for your communication with pets, and we're doing the software for that. Our mission is to get pets and animals connected to internet and give them the voice to learn how to understand them properly. We are, I think, one of the first Ukrainian companies that have tried out to launch absolutely new innovative product to the market that never existed before. We're doing it for the US market. We're running the overall flow, couple dozens $1 million. We have 100,000 new clients a year. And well, I don't know. There's a lot of things that I can share. I'm really happy to share my experience with other entrepreneurs. We have been through Y Combinator. We have engaged more than $25 million of investments. We have gone through some really, really harsh times, through being fired, through the reorganization of businesses. In the recent years, we have been very successful, and we are now actively looking for people, hiring people. If you would like to work with us, come up to me. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Yaroslav. Hi, everyone. My name is Stanislav, and I'm co-founder of the Rocket service. So Rocket, this is the food delivery center that works in 5 countries. We have become the top 5 downloaded application in Europe. We have more than 3 million users that have downloaded our app. What Rocket is? In our infrastructure, our core business is the delivery of food from restaurants. We're building our dark kitchens and dark stores just to create a unified ecosystem. So we would have the super app. The mission of Rocket is to deliver faster, better, always. Hi everyone. Hi everyone. My name is Ivan Altsybieiev. I'm co-founder and the operational product director. In Reface, we're helping people all around the world to create viral, emotional content with the help of machine learning technology. You might aware of us about this app that you have been in your Instagram stories throughout the world. We're helping people to swap faces. We have launched at the very beginning of 2020. A year ago, this time we have been at line number 1 in App Store in US. We have been even higher than Netflix. Then we've engaged the investments from the big companies. Right now in our company, we have started year ago, we have been 20. Now we have 220 people working in our company. That's cool. Cool. Thank you. You know, there are very different businesses here at the panel. We also have in a different way. So my name is Pecherskyi. I'm founder and the CEO of PromoRepublic. This is a B2B enterprise soft that helps the bigger company of Northern America to manage their social media pages in bigger scale. So basically, we're inviting we're turning their people into as managers, even if they've never been those before. So we have 170 people working with us. The biggest office is in Kiev, except for PromoRepublic. I'm also SAS. Enthusiast. I really like software as service business model. I am the head of the SaaS entrepreneurship network. We're doing 3 or 4 events a year together with Unit City, and we are providing the spices for the people how you can build up the SAS business and basically join us. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Let's give you a round of applause for everyone. Okay, can I ask our organizers to make our sound on the stage a little bit louder? Because, like, I don't know, can you hear each other? But for us to be able to hear one another as well, so we could have a discussion properly. So, okay, just to get us into a proper conversation straight away, we have rehearsed who is going to say something. But then the next question would be, just that a general starting question. The companies are different, businesses are different, brands are different, expansions are different, scales are different, experience is different. But still, what is, in your idea, the biggest challenge and the biggest opportunity for Ukrainian startups in the next 2 or 3 years? Let us do the first global entry to the discussion with this super global question. Who's ready to start, please? I think that I really like the opportunity notions. What are the opportunities that we have and how we can deal with trends? So I do believe that today at this forum, at this summit, we have been discussing the production in Ukraine. Let us produce in Ukraine. Yes, that's really trendy. But I still do believe that except for being trendy and popular, that's also very profitable. Because we have all of the production line. We have 250 people. We have 250 talents. And we're all producing in Kharkiv, the full cycle. And we're slightly different towards our competitors, US, Australia, and the Netherlands. We are different from our competitors because we're producing and developing faster. Because, for example, last year we have added up the virtual reality to the markets of the entertainment. So we're providing the equipment for virtual reality as well. And this trend in entertainment is quite new. And all of our competitors, they're slightly lagging behind us, because for us in R&D, we have 50 engineers that are trying to improve something better every day. So, and this speed of development, I do believe that this is the main opportunity that we have. Okay, Kharkiv company is a competitive to all over the world. Okay, good. Garry, would you like to continue? Yeah, I would like to continue that as well, because I would also speak about the opportunities, but not that much of challenges. I would think that a lot of people here today, their dream and think of being global, even though they think local, then I think that this is the part of our legacy as well, or if we can say that. So maybe this is the part of our, I don't know, complexes. Don't be shy to think globally, and don't be shy to think about global market, because there's much more money the investors now have. They don't have that many projects that they would like to invest to. Unlike what we've had 2 or 3 years ago, Ukrainian team, Ukrainian project, Ukrainian founders, it's not a barrier for you to enter the markets. Right now, the projects from Ukraine are being considered happily, and the projects from other markets have been considered happily, because the projects and the foundation are broadening their investment geography by looking for the responsible entrepreneurs. So think global as local, but still try to get oriented for the international market. I think that is the main opportunity window for growth. Yes, thank you. That would be very good. Who would say challenge and who would think about those challenges? But okay, that's a very good question that we will also talk about later. What the international investors think of Ukrainian companies. Okay, good. Yaroslav, you know about that as well. Yes, thank you. I think that, if the biggest challenge is to study English, because I think that this is the biggest challenge for most of the Ukrainian companies. It is a huge barrier that actually takes Ukrainian companies aside. It stops 1,000 of Ukrainian entrepreneurs to win over the global markets. And there is a second challenge. The second challenge is the lack of ambition. What I have seen as well, that is that there's this gap between the level of competences to the level of ambition. If, for example, our friends from the US, there is a different balance for them, because sometimes their balance is about bigger ambitions and lower competences than for people in Ukraine. What I have seen, that the smartest friends, my smartest Ukrainian friends, they are no weaker than the smartest international friends that I have. But somehow they, instead of creating the next YouTube, instead of creating the next planes, cars, instead of creating the next disruption at the global level, they decide to start, I don't know, constructing a new restaurant in Kiev. And this is the biggest challenge that I see, to change your mind frame, to change your worldview, to create ambitious businesses that would be targeting of building up a better value for the world, and not just turn into money making, but basically to have this, to try to resolve the big challenges for the world. And there's lots of challenges, from education to environment protection to energy to re-establishing dozens of old industries. And this is the big challenge and opportunity at the same time. If we're not going to do that, then first of all, somebody else is going to do that instead of us. On the other hand, we will not be able to control our future. Somebody else is going to be controlling our future instead of us. Speaking on opportunities, I am sure that today Ukraine is one of the best places, the best place in the world to create innovative projects, not just in businesses, but projects in culture, in media, in diplomatic collaboration, and in multiple other sectors. Why? That's not in the empty words. I can support it with my examples if you want to. I do believe there are 3 reasons for that, the 3 most important reasons for that. First of all, Ukraine still is a country with the lowest cost the low cost of educated talents in the world. If you were not aware of it, then Ukraine, I think, maybe number one in Europe and maybe number one in the world, at least closer to the top three, according to the percent of the people who have higher education. Yes, there is a question about the quality of our higher education, but that's an interesting fact. Would you agree with that? At the same time, the educated professionals, and I'm not only speaking about the developers, but I'm also speaking about the electricians, accountant, welders, architect, whoever that is, the people who are able to create the product of the world quality in Ukraine, they cost 5 or 10 times cheaper than in US. So basically, with that money that you can build one plant or to make one mobile app, you can make 5 or 10. So if you can scale up this product, if you can do this product in Ukraine and to sell it to the global markets, and you can engage investment on the global markets, then you have the real competitive advantage. This is the first biggest advantage. Okay, but let us very, very fast with 2 or 3 because we have a lot of things to discuss. Yes, okay. The second competitive advantage is about the overall scale of the professionals, because there is a lot of sectors where we have good professionals in, and there's not a lot of other countries in the world who can boast the very same scope. And the second thing, and the third advantage is the great creative energy. Take a look around, take a look at the people you know, take a look at music, at arts, at the cafes and restaurants, at film. Take a look about the documentaries in YouTube that's called The Birds that actually sum all that up. If you are going around the world, if you have people from outside and if you have lived abroad, then you will understand that and you will agree to me that that level of creativity you can never find at any other country in the world. And I believe that this creativity is very predictable because Ukraine and Ukrainian people, they didn't have the statehood throughout 300 years almost. And this creative energy, what this kind of accumulating that has been pressed out for these 3 centuries, and now it's being burst out, it's bursting, and this is the opportunity for us, for entrepreneurs and creators, to use that. Okay, there was a long speech, but very interesting. Thank you. Yes, I see as well a lot of opportunities for Ukraine, and I can explain why as well. Because right now we're living in a very great times when the biggest technological revolution is taking place. The biggest technological revolution is taking place throughout the history of humanity. So now we live in the times when every day we have some really good, interesting services appearing, gadgets appearing, but we're still living in the time where our grannies and grandparents are there and they do not use these technologies. What does that mean? We have this change of generations coming. At this moment, we'll have this moment to come when technologies will be used by everyone. So you have the opportunity to create technological businesses that will be organic businesses and will provide the organic growth. What is happening to e-commerce? E-commerce is now evaluated for more than $4 trillion, and it keeps on growing every year. That supports this fact. What are the opportunities that we see? Because, again, the main lessons for the core business is logistics, so I would like to share with logistics trends. We'll do that later. Okay, so then I will get back to opportunities. So we will speak in facts and figures. Then you have to build up the technological project that will be basically resolving the needs of people that are coming to this market on a daily basis. That's it. Okay, thank you. I think that the Reface story has would never been possible in the Silicon Valley, because in order to take so many talented people and the 1 square meter, you would need much more money and efforts. And I do believe that the biggest opportunity, I think the biggest opportunity in Ukrainian startup ecosystem is that we have a lot of ambitious people who really want to build up big companies. What we're lacking, what may be the challenge, is to have the support, the capital support, to have this support of investment for your scientific project. Reface technology is quite complex. So in order to create that, we needed a lot of experiments, a lot of tryouts, and not all of the investors are ready in Ukrainian ecosystem to wait for that kind of long time. And I do believe that is something that we're lacking at this moment. The second trend that I can identify is COVID. COVID-19 has changed a lot in the world. We have closed the deal with our investors, not seeing them at all. We had just one round in Zoom. So this is the foundation that has $25 billion, and they do not give their money to whatever they want. They've invested to Facebook, Slack, Skype, yes, and many other good things. Yes, but the world has changed. And right now, the global investors, they're really open and they're ready to look for projects all around the world. They're ready to invest the project all around the world. You don't have to be located in the Valley, like it was like 3 years ago, that you have to be there. You have to go drink coffee with them to meet them offline. Right now, that's not that. And I think the other thing is as well, there's something that is played out from the other side as well. Right now, there is a competition for Ukrainian brains. So right now, it's much easier to hire the professional in big company, and the people will stay here in Ukraine, and the people will be working on IT companies having really good salaries. So when we organize with the young companies, the startups, when we have this overall moments, and we have seen that. We have seen that at us. We now see a lot of demand. So it's not just about the competition on the benefits level, on paying of the professionals. Now it is the compensation on the level because they want to be part of something big and good that has been born in Ukraine. We have now understood that our investment into Reface brand, into the culture that we're bringing to our market has really been compensated, has returned easily. And I do think that this is something that the company that are being created right now have to think about. What will you offer on the sense level? What will you offer as a compensation to your co-founders, to your first company, to your first investors? That's very good. Okay, so big idea. If it work out, then I think that, we'll have some people to build up the restaurants for. Okay, good. I don't know what I can add up to that. We've got to the essence, but this is all about it. We have been building our companies, everyone at Warsaw. We had unique unfair advantage that we've had. And yes, the best people here, yes, I know, because we're hiring people from abroad, and they're starting to talk to the guys from our Ukrainian offices, and they're being shocked, not just because of the competence level, but on soft skills as well. How good it feels and how good it is to work with our people, with our guys. And the soft skills from these guys from other countries, they have less of that. So we have been building companies, each and every one of us, even before it was cool and trendy. And whether if it was before cool and trendy to do that in Ukraine. Now it's a challenge. Now we have to protect not only your businesses. Now you have to broaden this international businesses. Now you have to create it in your own company. So this is something that we see as the main challenge. So we know that we will have to use this unfair advantage in Ukraine. Okay, good. The first round of challenges and opportunities have been done. We have come up with an idea that our panel is going to be in the context of trend, because this conference is about trends. And basically, we are working in the trends and what are the opportunities for us to be developing. And of course, we're going to be discussing the trends of what are the trends that you would like to provide for yourself. What are the trends? What would you like to do? We'll discuss that. Okay, thank you very much for your answers. The round 2, talking about trends. And I think that we should talk about trends in the context of customer. Or to start to talk about that, at least. The pandemic has changed a lot. Logistics, delivery, healthcare. And there's a lot of projects that have been implemented for you to speak about that. People are now spending more time at home. People are spending more, and they want to basically communicate better. So let us talk about that as well. So what do you see as the overall consuming trend? And how do you talk about that in the context of your businesses? What do you feel what has changed in the recent 2 years? How do you feel? What does it move to? Where does it go to? And that will be a good advice for the companies that are now believing in the development of their companies, who would like to continue developing here and now. Yes, okay. Our markets, our clients is the entertainment centers, the other businesses. So basically, we are selling the equipment to other businesses, so we're mostly B2B. As far as we are the leisure sector, then that COVID influenced us strongly, because in Europe especially, the malls were closed and there is no opportunity to basically to have the laser-tag games there. And we started to think about our clients And we're not just following the trends. We have 9 people who are having these interviews with our potential clients, with our customer developers. So basically, like they've had 8 interviews before the week before they have 15 interviews. Okay, does anyone knows what leather tag is? Who doesn't know what leather tag is? Okay, for this 4 people who doesn't know, this is the game. This is yeah, look, you know there is paintball and you use balls of paint there. Laser tag is just the same thing, but it shoots with laser. Uh, this is an activity that can be played by children and adults. You might use your cooperative, like Star Wars. Kind of. Star Wars, yes. No, so yes, but laser didn't burn you. Yes, it's all safe. It's all safe. In Ukraine, we have in every city has our equipment there. And as I've already said, that in 16 countries, the main markets for us is Europe, Southern Korea. Yes, thank you very much for making this clarification. Yes, we have a very, very narrow niche. And yes, sometimes people say like, oh my God, the 60th country. Yeah, but we didn't have any other choice. Just to buy it up, we needed to already get into the beta scale. So the main trend for us, because the malls have been closed, there was an idea of what should we do, can we earn the money. So we have had a separate project like the laser tag in open. So basically, we also had this. We had the problems with sales, but basically right now we are the first thing in that. So basically, right now we are working on the free air like this, open air. But I believe that I think it's important not only to follow the trends that you can go in the news, but this is about catching the trends that your clients are up to. And I think that this is the good opportunity that we have noticed as fast as possible. So I think that yes, this the overall consumer trend is what about is about that? In what way the COVID has influenced each of the sectors in a different way. For us, then we didn't have this opportunity to have the offline sessions inside of the building. So we have changed our businesses. Now we are having the games in security. Okay, so you have people who are tracking what is going on. There is this customer development. You that always keep in touch with the clients. Yes, our tech support and our account manager was there all the time. But basically, we have this person for the first time in a year. This year, they're trying to catch up with everything that is going. Yes, so okay, that's. Everything changes fastly, and they're going to have the person who's going to be changing everything faster on. Okay, Garry. $100 million in the first quarter of 2021 has been invested into Ukraine. Not just about restoring the hospitals, but the healthcare sector. Yes. Yeah, okay. So basically, as the main impact of the pandemic, we have now changed the e-health overall, and this has been one of the biggest sector that has felt it the most, and we have seen the biggest new niches. So now we know that it started the biggest processes that we used to have before, and we have been moving quite slow. And the pandemic has really accelerated it, and it highlighted the needs for the great changes and the significant changes of how the healthcare services should actually be provided. We're speaking about the med technologies and healthcare technologies because we have a lot of expertise in that. And I can actually already tell you how that is basically going to be very relevant for Ukraine. So we'll speak about the trends as well, because it's going to be something that it will be relevant to the audience. The first trend is the consumption of the service in a new shape of it, or consuming on demand. So the patient, they want to choose when, in what shape, in what way they would like to receive the service, even if it's a healthcare service. Before that, we saw that, the healthcare services, a doctor wearing a medical robe, and a hospital some kind of equipment and whatever that is. Right now, it's a different shift, because right now the medical and healthcare services are more democratic. They're becoming flexible. The channels of communication are becoming more flexible. The channels of access becoming more flexible. That's the first trend, and the pandemic has highlighted that seriously. The second thing is about storing of the big data in for healthcare, because we are connecting the next revolution in healthcare. The quality leap is going to be about improving the quality and the effectiveness of the healthcare services provided. We know that this leap will be connected to the big data, because it will give us the opportunity, together with artificial intelligence, together with AI, to give to take a faster, to see those connections and to see those patterns in the fastest pace, the ones that we would never be able to see any other way. So basically collecting the personalized data, collecting the personal data. Can you give us an example maybe? Can you give us a bright example of how it will work? Okay, I think you might know how the clinical test outs are being provided when the product is going to be entering the market. So it's years of research, but these years of research have been done on a very, very narrow base, 1,000 people, 2,000 people, 5,000 people. But then what we see in the manuals for the different kind of medicines, those are the outcomes about any kind of actions or any kind of effect that the drug has for the very narrow audience, for the very narrow audience. For example, this drug or medicine that can be used for billions of people, the target audience, but the test outs, because of its price, it's being done only on a very narrow audience. So thus we can presuppose what is going to be the probability that something is not going to be highlighted during this test outs, or what are going to be the variations or actions, how it's going to be working together with other products, or maybe some kind of additional your peculiarities physically as a person will not be considered in this test out. So if we will digitalize all the data on patients, then it will not matter if you're going to be testing out this product during the test outs or later, but you'll be able to generate this big data that will tell us in what way this product will influence and impact your body, your organism. And we can make this bulks of data and to make the better outcomes. Okay, but the first thing is about to change the standard option of consumption is broken down. The second is working with data, so you have better questions and you have better answers. And yes, the third trend, and I would like to add up to that as well, increasing the level of wearables, and everything that gives us the opportunity to monitor our self-being in a moment and to monitor this big data. The fourth moment, and this, the machine learning and artificial intelligence, in any way it's possible, the one that it helps doctor or helps to substitute the doctor sometimes, especially when we're speaking about the multiple occasions of the same action. Switching back to Ukraine, all of those trends that are available and used in Ukraine, but there is one peculiarity in Ukraine still. In Ukraine, people believe that they are capable of evaluating the competences of doctors on their own. They want to choose the doctor on their own. They want to choose the service on their own. They want to really have control on that, and they want to be a part of this choice. And for them, they have already really high expectation on services. We've had this example on restaurants, and I'm sure that, the Kiev budget or budget restaurant that of their level of service, they will be surprised even for the Michelin level restaurants. I think that's, yes, that's for sure. Yeah, but that's basically, there are some reasons for that, and there is demand for that, and there is that kind of a demand for medical services as well. People would like to receive the service and the comfortable way and in the cheapest price, and to have it all in one place. So that is why this is the need that we're going to cover in one place all together. Yes, okay. Speaking about the ecosystem and speaking about the case, what we're going to get back to. Yes, and speaking on the trend, in what way it is implemented. So the healthcare is mostly, it can be provided in a good quality, in a high quality way without physically visiting doctors or clinics. So there's remote opportunities and distant opportunities that the IT gives to us, and the pandemic has stimulated that. They are applicable in healthcare as well, and in Ukraine too. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, have a round of applause. Yes, good. Thank you. That's great. let's break the structure and let's start from the last person if you're ready. Yeah, of course I will. Okay, good. So once again, I would like to remind, so we are the B2B SAS. So basically we're working with the big companies, and the trends that we currently see, and the trends have been initiated by the pandemic as well. And one of those trends was that we have the digital marketing. We all used to have the digital marketing. It was always a trend, but right now it's been really accelerated. Even those companies that have been really slowing down, they've told us that we do everything offline. Our local representatives, they're working around, they're selling our products and services, like the real estate agents or the agents that selling insurance or providing some loans, or just the MLM companies who are trying to sell the product to their friends. Suddenly, everyone understood that you cannot do that offline, and those companies that started to find the technologies to do that online. They look for technologies and platforms that will, in the fastest pace, turn their teams into the online marketologists. The demand from this kind of companies has been seen. We didn't know how to work with them at that point, and so we were forced to work on the products very actively, the product that has become really successful throughout pandemic. So the first trend would be the growth to digital marketing for the specific type of companies. The second trend that we have seen would also and gig economy has accelerated. People are not wanted to work on location. They want to have a couple of works in the same time. They want to work remotely. And for this labor force, for this capital, the companies have started to fight for those people. And this fight can be won by someone who has better technology. So, for example, Uber or Rocket, their technology can turn any person with a driver license or with a leg into a professional delivery guy or to an Uber driver. PromoRepublic can turn the people into the SM managers, and even the people that never know how to deal with marketing and social media. So basically, this trend of gig economy is basically really creates the struggle for the gig workers. And those companies as PromoRepublic, they really help us to fight on this level of fights on the very same level as Rocket and Google is, and Uber is. Okay, Maxim's companies and Max companies, the soft that they have created is basically the platform that gives the opportunity for the marketologists and marketing agency, the big brands, to manage the pages in social media, thousands and hundreds of pages in social media. This is SIS service, the cloud service that helps you to manage your communication and social media in one place. Do you understand it the right way? Yes, right you are, but not from one place, but it's a distributed approach. So usually, but controlling it from one place. Yes, how it works out. I can give you just a couple of words of explanation in a case. Okay, so we have our client, for example, it's a marketing director of a company, the company that sells essential oils, the small bottles. The company is called doTERRA, and they earn 2 billion selling this very simple product. They're selling that simple product through local representatives, like, for example, the housewives who are earning some more money from that, or the Uber driver who's going to be selling something essential oils in his car or whatever. But the problem is that when this army of this wellness advocates, they're gathered on the global level, they're starting to sell these products in social media with no help. When they're doing that on their own, it doesn't work nice, it looks unprofessional, that doesn't correspond to the brand book, and no one wins because of that. They don't have more sales through social media, and they're destroying the nice, beautiful brand that has a lot of money invested into. And our platform gives them the content and give them the certain framework for creativity. So they cannot make any kind of design of pause. They cannot just write down that this product will cure you from coronavirus or cancer. So they can only write the certain things that will be corresponding to the marketing strategy, and thus they become more successful in their sales on Facebook. Okay, I will clarify that. So the trend that you've said, all of the businesses are now going to the digital marketing. Not a lot of people know how to work in digital marketing. Your service resolved this problem by giving some certain templates. Yes, okay, thank you. Thank you. Ivan? That's a very interesting to learn the trends from your point of Tim. Well, I think the first thing that we have to say that we have been very lucky. We have been very lucky to be on the right side of the COVID barricade. Yes, it's better. That's better. Okay, good. So we have been at the right side of the COVID barricade because at the moment of the global pandemic, well, the people had a higher demand for the positive emotions, and we are the entertainment app that gives gives very cool emotions because you can take your face to Hulk, to Ariana Grande, just have fun. And we have had hundreds of messages in stores that people say that there's a lot of bad things happening around us, but with the help of Reface, we now have the best of emotions. So there was a demand for good emotions. Yes, that's something that helps us. Yes, as well. So the other thing was that the first launching this first thing that we've learned how to make realistic face swap in the content. We have checked up one of the important hypotheses. If you can switch the faces on video content, you can switch whatever you want. If you can switch whatever you want in video content, then you can create the video content in a different way. So right now, those technologies that we're using based on the machine learning, they'll give you an opportunity to have a completely different approach to create content creating, because what that TikTok do, they've said that making vertical videos in a very simple format, it's easy, nice, it's fun. This is something that people would like to watch and something that gives you the high level of engagement. And we have started thinking about what will be the next paradigm of content creating then. And right now you can do, like, for example, when you have some kind of idea, then before that, you could take a phone, making a photo, or going into some kind of tool, process it, and publish it into Instagram. Right now, for example, there will be a meme on Steve Jobs and Bill Gates when they're sitting on the stage. So basically, we can include them between us as well. We're giving the tools to the people that give the opportunity for people to create their ideas. So what our mission is that we want to change the way the content is being created in the world. So the second big trend is the facilitation of content creation. If before that you needed to film it, so right now you can do that on your mobile phone. In a couple of clicks, you can swap faces, you can change what people say, you can change the background and a lot of other things just based on the machine learning technology. The third trend that we've seen is about evolution of digital emotions. We still remember the time that in order to reflect emotions, then you used to make this, you have this smile, then you've had emoji, then you have GIFs, then you have animojis, then you have memojis. So basically, a lot of big technological companies, they think about creating the tools that will help you to define your emotions better in your digital communication. Considering the shift of paradigm during the COVID-19, we're starting to be communicating in digital far more. So we didn't have this trend, we had these masks, but right now, it's just it's fading away a little bit. So everyone is asking the question, what's going to be next? What will going to be the next trend in way the people are going to reflect their emotions? And we're working into this direction based on our technology to give the people the opportunity to create themselves more, to express themselves more, create the new memes, create new stickers. And the final trend that I wanted to say is about all of the American children, they want to be creators. Everyone wants to be creators. A lot of people are creators already. That means that all of the big technological giants and companies, they're going to be strongly investing into that. So they would have more and more content creators on their platform. Snapchat has given 1 million to people a day for the best creators. TikTok has around $1 billion to support the creators, top creators. YouTube has a creators program. So basically, everyone is trying to find what is the best way to engage creators to your platform, to hold them at your platform and to give them the opportunity to earn money. And I think that this is the biggest challenge for these consumer businesses that we are in, is to how to give the people the opportunity, the one that could create the new senses, the one who create content, how to give them the opportunity to earn more, to earn money. So it's to become a different profession, because the creators is a different profession right now. We believe in memes. We believe that memes are the current language of internet. We have this research that is based on facts. We understand that the memes are underestimated format, and this is a super media marketing carrier because it can sell, it is being liked, it is gives you the value of the product. So what do we see ourselves in the future? That our next step and our biggest challenge for us is to become a platform that will be filled in with the technologies that give you the opportunity to change the new content and create new senses. So in a couple of clicks, you can take something out, you can add something on, you can revoice something, get new people into the frame. If those technologies are going to be provided to this young generation that knows how to use it and how to create the new senses, how to create new viral content carriers, and if we will use that for brands and businesses. Okay, just to give you an example. For example, Coca-Cola will launch a new product. They will give the new asset, the new bottles of Coca-Cola, and with the help of machine learning, you can realistically put it in any kind of content. Like any of us can be substituted with a cola bottle, or for example, this Banakva can be substituted to the cola bottle. And in this case, you can create the new media format that will give the opportunity for media creators to earn money. Okay, so creators are going to become crafters. They will earn money for that, and that will be a predictable profession. It's easier to create content. Emotion economy, yeah, there's another trend that I really would like to ask you to think about is safety and security, because together with Kola, with Elon Musk, with the videos where famous people are, there is also, you can change whatever you want. And there is a big challenge in that. So yes, you can take a woman on the knees of the president that will not build up his trust, for example, with the help of your service. We will talk about that slightly later. I will leave you with that provocative thoughts. Just think about that. Yes, okay, we'll think about that later. Thank you. But okay, let's get to next. Stas. I would like to have a very interesting trend about logistics and everything connected to logistics and effectiveness. Why it is important? If we will consider the main expenses for the Amazon company, that compared to 2019 and 2020, the expenses on logistics have increased by 30% in Amazon. That's all been connected to that the level of the e-commerce is growing that fast that logistics is not able to adapt to all of those processes. We do not even think about that. When we're ordering something in Amazon, this product that goes to us, it has been divided to two parts. It goes from country to country, and then when it comes to your door, then it goes inside of the country. So to deliver up till the client's door, it's much more expensive than to get the product from one country to another. So there will be the good niches that are needed, like dark stores and fulfillment warehouses and dark kitchen, because it can be the framework of one ecosystem, and I will speak about that. So the dark stores, they are actually heating up all of the trends in Europe, so they're engaging dozens of dollars of investment. I would like to give you the case with a Gorillas project. It is a year-old project. They have a couple of warehouses. They started delivering from there, and now this project is being evaluated for more than $1 billion. We have a project that have been for 10 or 15 years doing with logistics, and they have the overall flow of 200-300 million, but they have made 1 billion in a year. It gives you the clear understanding that the level of online penetration is very, very low in Ukraine, and there are some unfulfilled niches yet. So if someone of you is looking for some kind of new niches to step in, I would recommend you to take a look at this direction as well. Another direction is the fulfillment warehouses. So when you're building the small warehouses all around the city, and for example, when people are being asking for books or perfumes, then the product is being delivered to them, then they're coming to the Rocket and Rocket Lead button, and because we have a lot of couriers, we're going to give you this product up till 30 minutes for you. So basically there is this trend that we need to give the people the fastest delivery in the time that is comfortable for them. And you can use the fulfillment storehouses, the dark stores and dark kitchens. Right now we already have 5 dark kitchens when we have 6 brands over there, and we have built up the 30 virtual restaurants, and we can provide a really fast speed of delivery. We're building the dark stores, we're building the fulfillment centers, so that under one app you would have the huge infrastructure that would resolve a multiple task for our clients. And that's a niche, even though we already have some competitors in place, and I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of new players emerging who will be building it all. And I'm sure that Ukraine has all of the chances to have those really good players that will be competitive at the global scale and who they will be able to scale to the new international markets. So once again, getting back to say that it has all changed due to COVID. And when we will launch in Cyprus, yeah, we will get back to the cases, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about the main consumption trends. You have said that the people that's the delivery is very expensive. It's very expensive to deliver up till your door, and there's new niches developing. So what you've said, that the people, they really want to consume everything at the threshold of their house. Do I understand it the right way? Yes. Yes, right now the people have a lot of different processes in the same time. People don't want to spend their time at the stove. They want to develop, they want to go further, and this services give the opportunity to the clients to dedicate more time to what they love. So we know that this now really needed. Sometimes even when people when the couriers that are coming to the door at the ground floor, then basically the people say they don't want to take it that, so we have to provide the ultra services for the people from door to door. Yes, thank you. Okay, guys, I would like to remind you that we'll have a chat board, so please send your questions. We have 35 questions here. I'm not going to leave this place, but still, Yaroslav. Well, hi, I'm looking at this full hall. I think that you are my real heroes today, because sitting at this cold weather, no one is even watching their phones, because I think it's too cold for the fingers to do that. So really, thank you. Respect for you for being here. Thank you very much. That's really cool from your side to be coming here. And that's why I feel the huge responsibility that's, to say something that will really be worth of your time. Of course, we are selling the camera so that the people will be able to watch their animals when they're not at home. So who of you would believe that this market has fallen down during COVID? No one would think of that. I thought that it will fall down. I think that no one is going to buy them because everyone will be at home. But you understand that, that this is some kind of a joke in this question still. Well, yes, the market has fallen because everyone was at home and there was no need for the Petcubes at this moment, and like the end of the world when you would spend money for the camera for your pets. But 3 months into COVID, we have seen the growth of sales. We couldn't understand what is going on, and the sales have grown up till the level higher than the COVID was, and it continue growing. And we couldn't understand what's going on. We've asked our users, "What are you doing? Why are you the cameras for? Stop it!" And they've told us that it turns out during the time of COVID, the people were so close to their animals, to their pets, that right now, when even they're living there for shopping, for grocery shopping, it is important for them to open their phone to call their dog and to see how they're doing, because they're so close. And this is the example of the second stage effect or the third stage effect connected to COVID-19 that was really hard to forecast. It was easy to forecast when the COVID has started that the people are going to stay at home. The secondary effect was that when they were sitting at home, it turned out that the people were really, really closer to their animals. The animals have helped them to calm down and to help them to go through the stress. The tertiary effect was that the people started buying more Petcubes. For us, as for the entrepreneurs, and for all of you here, I think the most important and most interesting case would be is trying to understand this effects. I don't know if it's possible, because trying to understand this effects is at least as we're trying to forecast the weather precisely, which no one can do. Or we're trying to forecast the shares behavior in the markets. So I think that this is a useless job to forecast those things. The history of technology has a lot of examples like that. For example, with the Model T appearance, with with the overall spread of the cars in the United States of America and all over the world, that was obvious that there's going to be an increased desire for fuels. But an unexpected effect of that was the appearance of Wahlberg. They use the big supermarkets because now everyone has a car, everyone can go there, and you can carry not just one bag of products or grocery, but you can carry the whole trunk of products, and no one could have forecasted Walmart. So right now, there's a lot of trends that cannot be forecasted overall. So what should we do? We should lay our hands and cry? No. I think that it's important for us to forecast of what is not going to change, but what is going to change, but to forecast what is not going to change. And we have to build up our businesses on something that is not going to change, notwithstanding any kind of macro events. If you're building a good ship with good ecosystem, then you will be able to reach whatever islands you want, whatever the wind will be. And getting back to one of the arguments that I voiced out before, it is important to create businesses that have value, and that have the resolution for some kind of a deep problems that for the people that exist there. And in this sense, you have to understand it even more than literally. For example, what Ivan does with Reface. Some of the people looking at that, they can say like, okay, who needs that? It's just faces and the photos, what that is. But it covers an important human need on leisure, on communication, on emotion. And the people who understand that, the people who knows that the world is made like this, and I think we have to consider this in this trend, and basically we think of that, not trying to cope with trends that is there, but trying to see more globally for 10, for 20 years in the future. Then you will build resilient organizations. Yes, thank you. That's a very interesting points of view. I think it's not only the people who have been left at home, they were really close with their pets, but I think they've always tried to find some illnesses in one another. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. I hope that there was a lot of things for us all to learn, but let us start it with the cases about what are the big ambitious goals. And we have a joint panel, and what are your goals for the future, whether you're still going to stay here, knowing that you're here, whether you continue working here as well, and what is your biggest ambitious goal? And I now see what are the questions that are being provided by the people. So whether it is important for your ambitious goal, the financial support, whether it's good for you, whether it's important right now, please consider that in your answers as well. Yes, we have a big goal. So we're not just creating laser tag, we're trying to unite people, because when people they're getting together, it really works nice for the corporate parties, for the team building. We have very ambitious goal to win over the United States market. We're selling out to 60 markets, but the scope of sales is different. In 2017, we had $19,000 we had around 75 locations in Europe, and there was around $20,000 per man, and we had 3 sales in US, and we were slightly sad because we have invested to the exhibitions to Orlando. We haven't had one single case closed. Why was that reason? Because that's turned out that Ukrainians have a different approach to Ukrainian companies. For example, some of them, even like a couple of days ago, I've had an answer because, guys, you are really cool, but we cannot make difference between you and Crimea. So when you're going to be in Ukraine, we don't know where we can't trade with Crimea. So when we don't know if you're coming from Ukraine, we cannot identify you as separate Ukraine but not Crimea. So the same thing was a person coming from the southern Korea. We went to the airport and he wasn't there. he wasn't there. We had an agreement, but there was a plane, but the person wasn't there on the plane. So we have been slightly sad, but then he's given us an understanding. Okay, guys, I'm sorry, there was an emergency happening. I'm going to come slightly later. So basically, then he called to that, and he has already placed an order, one of our biggest clients, and he asked what has happened. And we call him Oleg, just between one another because his name is unpronounceable for us. So we asking him, Oleg, what has happened? And he said, like, I was coming to Ukraine. And on my way to Ukraine, I came to Sudan because I have a meeting with clients, and I was kidnapped there. His phone and his passport was taken there for 2 weeks. He was there kidnapped. When there's a new the new headline in the press, the Korean citizen was coming to Ukraine and was kidnapped. Yeah, but that was a good thing. He came back to Seoul, then he came back to Ukraine. He really enjoyed Ukraine. He really liked Ukraine after Sudan. Yeah, I believe. No, but yeah, he was welcomed. We've shown him our factory. So he really, really loved Ukraine. But I think that until each and every one of us will show this good hospitality, when not just the cheese pancakes. That's not the only sales we use, but still, I think that's one of our roles here. In 2019, it turned out, in 2020, we understand that Americans, they don't understand, or they don't know, they understand. They say, like, okay, guys, you're there, you're in Ukraine, you're here. So if something happens, what kind of a support? Like, you think that we've all went to organize a corporate party and something got broken. Where are we going to find you? And at that point, that was really, really harsh, and because we weren't located there. But right now, we had been to San Francisco a month ago, together with my wife. We came to take a look at what the local kindergarten is, and we were welcomed. And they told us, okay, yes, this is the kindergarten. We wanted, like, okay, can you take a look at what is there? And they said, like, no, you have to sign up at Zoom. And so basically, I think that this is a good opportunity for all of us. And I would agree to what has already been said, that right now we can do the remote sales to the US, and that's great. So, the biggest market for us is the US right now. And that's because we have found the local representatives remotely. So we've done it all from Ukraine, we've done it remotely, and I am sure that this is one of the greatest challenge for us, to be global, not only represented, not only in multiple countries, but to be global as well in our main markets. So, we are about people. But on the other hand, I think that this brand of Ukraine that we have talked about the brand of Ukraine yesterday. I think that brand of Ukraine is that is a brand of 600 Ukrainian companies, because before that, when we sit in the plane, they said, like, you have to wear the mask yourself first, and then you have to help the neighbor. So thinking about how we can help Ukrainian brand is helping yourself first of all, creating your Ukrainian brand first of all, making it serious, and if everyone will do that, then Ukrainian brand will grow. That's what we're doing, each and every one of us in our country, companies. Yes, that's cool. Thank you. The question on the big ambitious goals. That's showing you about the mood of the companies and what are the problems that you see every day, how you're trying to overcome those problems. I think that it's very important and good for people who still launch their businesses. And so it's very interesting. That's very good. But okay, Garry. Okay, big ambitious goals. Okay, this is the high time to mention the ecosystem as well. Okay, slightly later. Yeah, okay, let it be there. No, okay. No, can we just take it down? Okay, because it's going to be... Yeah, we'll try to ask you slightly later to put that on. But our biggest goal would be to improve the quality of people's life. So people should live longer, and people should live in a better quality way. And basically, this is a long distance, that is a lot of patience, but we are working on this direction a lot. We have been born in Ukraine, as I've already said, and we have had this global goal, and we have had a lot of things to initiate it for people. we have been, first of all, helping you out to find people, to find a doctor. If you're, for example, if you're looking for an area specialization professional, then you were just searching for a friend. There was a service to find yourself a doctor. The project has been developing for the first 5 years. We have been developing in this very niche, so we had added up some new functions, some new product, but globally that was a place where you could just have asked the internet about some certain symptoms or about the doctor that you should address to. In 2019, we had a new investor coming up, a new inspirer, the effective investment, and Igor Liskiev. And after that, we have scaled up. We have scaled up our biggest dream. We do not just want to help people and treat people. We really want to we really want like people not to be diseased at all. So basically the basic need is not to fall under illnesses. So we're speaking about the preventive healthcare, we're speaking about the checkups, we're speaking about the forecasted healthcare. So something that can improve the quality of our life when we are not being ill. This is our global task. And after that, since that, we have started to become not a service where you can find a doctor, where you can book some medical services. We would like to turn to become an ecosystem that would have in one single bottom, the bottom that you can see at your mobile screen, that will be able to cover all of the questions on healthcare. The healthcare, first of all, being in a good health is about not being ill. So I would like to ask for this slide now. So yes, unfortunately, okay, so it's like a nymph above Yaroslav, so yes. Or it's kind of an eye of a camera that his Petcube is following. Yeah, Yaroslav. So okay, this is a visualization of the ecosystem, how we see that. The lower part, unfortunately, you are not able to see that for the audience, but I'll comment upon that. So the main core of our ecosystem is the patient, or the person, and doctor. So there are two main players, the two main actors inside of this ecosystem. The first level of their communication, and we'll cover it with main 3 or 4 directions. And we're speaking about this situation when people have experienced some certain symptoms. They're being ill, they need doctor, they need lab, they need medication. They need drugstores, they need medication, they need some specific services, or for example, surgeries or whatever. This is the first level, the basic needs. This is something that we're doing from the day one of creation of our services from 2008. So basically, we have now closed the circle. All of the services available there, they're located in one place. The second level, in this case, so after the green level that you have seen that on the slide, so this blue, that's, yes, the blue, no, not the blue. No, white is the third level. Okay, the blue one are those services that help you to support your basic needs, to become more comfortable, to be seamless. So this communication between the doctor and the patient can be done in whatever places is comfortable for the patient, in online, in offline. The communication between patients and doctors, it can be combined with the other participants of the ecosystem. It will be more effective, it will be faster, and thus it is more important and the better value for the user. And the third layer of our ecosystem, that is something that we're just coming up to, are those things that will help us to stay healthy and not to fall into illnesses. The preventive healthcare, good marketing. Marketing is a tool. Marketing is a tool, and yes, basically it is a part of the businesses. It is an important part of the businesses that should be there from the day one. But we're speaking about our mission, the big mission that we have. And our mission will be implemented when we will be there at that level, at the third level of ecosystem, when we will be speaking more not about treating people, but when we're speaking about the preventive measures the ways to prevent illnesses. And we're doing that, understanding that's a long story to take. We know that it's not that it's marathon that we have to take. And right now, for the next 2 years, the main task for us is to get to the international markets. So what we are talking about, that's the healthcare service, even though it has the additional peculiarities in each and every market, but it's still very relevant for every person in the world. And we know that the good healthcare is important for every person. It doesn't really matter how old you are. So for us, that it is very important for the next couple of years. A good opportunity and the big dream for us is to get scaled up at the new markets that have some peculiarities there. And we have 7 countries already that we have already came into for in the recent 2 years. We would like to be scaled up, and we want to have the new markets coming up. And I do believe that this is something that we believe is the main challenge for the future. Okay, 2 really fast questions and 2 really fast answers, please. Do I understand that the right way, that the existence, this big ambitious goal is to build up the unified platform for the medical services, starting from preventive medicine and healthcare? Does it mean that the knowledge base of a doctor that you're going to go to the media, whether it doesn't mean that with the wellness program you'll be building sport clubs or some kind of offline clubs or whatever? It doesn't mean that the new markets, what are the markets, first of all, and how much money you're going to spend there? Start with the last one. We'll spend as much money as it needed because every market is a separate project, a separate story with a separate business model of entering to market. Somewhere there will be B2B or B2C. You're going to spend your own money, or you're going to attract money. When you're spending money, that's always your own about money, whether you have already attracted that or you earned it. So that's definitely going to be our money to spend. That was the final question. Okay, the previous 2 questions were whether we're going to be build something or constructing something. No, we are the integrators. So we are really great enthusiasts that you have to take the best that already exists in the markets, and we have some niche players, neo actors at the market. They will be providing a high quality service to our users. They will be doing it better than we can do. We cannot be champions at all of the and every front. So if we're speaking about wellness, about the diets, about everything there, starting from the clinics, ending up with some kind of additional programs for additional mental support, then first of all, we believe that we will need to find, select, and to provide the access to our users. So we're the integrators. Okay, sorry, thank you. See, Yaroslav, you want to add up something? Yes, I'm always ready. Well, I think there was 2 questions about the big ambitious goals and about the immigration, and there was something about about money, that people are asking. So when you have the big ambitious goal, then this year or next year, maybe basically how did you get the money and how to find that? And there was a lot of personal questions to you here about Y Combinator, about searching for the investment. It would be really good to hear from you. What are your recommendations of how to find the places where you can have it, please? Let's start with 1. Big ambitious goal. The big ambitious goal for the Petcube is to connect pets to internet and give them the voice to learn to understand our pets. There is an Arthur C. Clarke, who is known to be said that every sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. And there is a Ukrainian artist who said, Ivan Franko, I think you know that, and he has written a book while the animals still talk. The painted folks, whatever. And the Petcube is trying to unite Arthur C. Clarke and Ivan Franko and teach the animals to talk, so that would work like magic. And it is possible, because already we are the biggest company in the world that is searching for the videos, and in the way that the pets communicate, how they act at home. And there is a lot of scientific research that give us the understanding of how can we interpret the certain movements of animals and their sounds that make. And using the big data and using the algorithms of machine learning, will be able to learn that whether your dog wants to go for a walk right now, or maybe they're really nervous about the car that goes there at your window. So that's very ambitious goal. That is basically the self-driving in the world of the domestic animals. So think about that. If just imagine in 5 or 10 years, you'll be able to come home. You'll be here at your future, and you'll be sitting here and listening to people who will be really bored, and you will think about what's my dog doing at home. But even before you will do that, you will have a message in Facebook that your dog is actually asking you, so how you doing? So when you're going to answer that, and he tells you like, I've been lying the whole day here and thinking how I used to run around with the cats. So this is going to be the synthesis of this like virtual thoughts with this real emotions that will be this deciphered by Petcube, and having this opportunity to exchange messages with your dog. I think that it would be very interesting, because I think that you would really like to know what your dog thinks about you. So yeah, this is about being on ambitious goals. And I think that what is also important for every big ambitious business is to have the big ambitious goals, because I think that the missions and the visions is something that give us the opportunity to be competitive with the best people of the world. The mission of Google is organize all the world information. The mission of Tesla is to accelerate the renewables as fast as possible. So when the best people in the world, they see those missions, they want to work there. They don't care how much hours they have to work there. They don't care how much will they be needed to pay for that. It's not that much important for them if they can have any kind of work, any kind of job in the world. Speaking on the immigration, I have lived for almost 2 years in San Francisco. 2 years ago, I've gone back to Kiev. The last 4 years of my life in San Francisco, really wanted to get back to Kiev, but it's not that easy to do. There's a lot of obligations that you have to do as the CEO of the company, and you cannot go wherever you want. But I'm really happy being back to Kiev, and I think that's my main thesis here for everyone here. I would like to say that if you haven't lived abroad yet, then I would recommend you to start with the States. Then try to go there and try to live there for a couple of years. If you're going to emigrate there, maybe think about the different plans. Let us try out first and then make this final decision. If you're an entrepreneur and you have already had a good experience of creating something outside of Ukraine without Ukrainian talents, I think that this is a very optimal decision. I believe that Ukraine is the best country to create intellectually contentful businesses. And I'm putting my money where my mouth is. This is something that I'm doing already. So, speaking on money, well, the first 7 years of our businesses, 80% of our time I've spent for time raising. So we've had a lot of money to R&D. We've had spent a lot of money for the mistaken decisions on scaling or marketing or sales. The recent 2 years, I've been working with management, and I don't really want to spend half an hour on a call on investments or something like that. In some sense, I regret the time that the search for capital has taken me. But if I haven't found those capitals and haven't invested it into the product, then I wouldn't have the product and wouldn't have the business going on. The biggest outcome for me that is important to engage money when you have the right moment there, not about the external stage but about your businesses. Maybe you can outline those main points, the main milestones for yourself. Well, when was going to be the right moment for you? Like, for example, you haven't launched the product yet, so yes, this is a good moment to find the money. You don't have the metrics, you have the nice idea, everyone believes you. When you have the products, you have the KPI started, and investors are like, oh no, that doesn't look nice. We'll wait for something more. Let us have this like 1 million dollars of ROI. So basically, when you have got already in return investment for $1 million, then it's a good round to invest some money. Or when you're making so much money that you need nothing, then everyone wants to go with you as well. But most of the companies that never reach that point. So that's a very good thing to get on the top accelerator in the world, that one that is called Y Combinator. We were happy to be the first Ukrainian company that was there. We have got there after our fourth try. 3 times they have answered nothing to us. No one was interested in that. For the fourth time, we have been invited there. That was one of the best decisions that we could have made. And I strongly recommend everyone to go to Y Combinator. Doesn't matter what your company stage is. So are you just one person who have come up with an idea? You have no founders, no team, no product. Or you already have 1 million of income, investors, big team working, and have good examples in all of this range who are coming to Y Combinator, and they've said that it was the best decisions. So I would strongly recommend you to do that. The final thing that I would like to add up to this topic is that I don't know how to do that, but try not to forget about management when you're doing the fundraising, because the real result of the business, the real market fit, the real understanding of the real understanding of incomes, that's all much more important than investments. When you have this essence, then it's much easier for you to be found. The investment, it doesn't matter whether the slides are bad, but you don't have the essence, it doesn't really, then the good investors are not going to invest it into you. But when you're going to be invested by the bad investors, then that's, it doesn't mean that they want to do something bad about you. It means that basically they don't understand what they're doing. And you should be invested. And then this that can be even for worse, not for the best. So I would like to offer you to concentrate on the essence of the businesses, because the investment, they're overhyped. They're being talked a lot. They're being made a lot, but basically they do not influence your businesses that much as you might have thought from this media frame. And your personal influence as an entrepreneur, the one who goes into the essence, finds the best people, finds the best metrics, this is the most important resource, and your time has to be dedicated to that. Yes, thank you, Yaroslav. Okay, thank you. Can I ask you, for example, because we have a lot of questions in the bots, and I understand that there's a lot of the people would like to know about your relationship with Y Combinator. Maybe we can ask you in your stories to outline some of your bullet points, to outline some things about Y Combinator for people so they could actually read it out in your stories. Not to spend the time because we don't have a lot of time left. Okay, good. Well, basically, I'm regularly helping Ukrainian companies to get selected to Y Combinator. You can send me emails with your application forms. So yar at petcube.com. And the amount of emails I can process, I will answer that. I will just say that I can't help you. I will try to help you, really. Thank you. Well, actually, for rockets, we have even an interesting book that is called the Rocket Culture Code, and there outlines the values. For example, challenges is our life care, so like die young, so as acting as is the last day, supports each and every one of us, constantly learning, and there is this goal as being ambitious. With this goal, at the very beginning of 2021, we have had in our OKRs to be present in 10 countries. And now we are working in effectively scaling further on as far we are the three-sided marketplace. Then we have this constant ambitious goals to improve the quality of processes so that our clients to be happy as possible when they are now at this cosmic station. So, okay, the service is basically that we're building some kind of a good services when we're not delivering from the restaurants, McDonald's and KFC. So we're adding up the kitchen, dark stores, the super app that we're going to be scaling up based on the values that to create a super service. Yes, right you are. Okay, there is a question, a specific question on rockets directly. When will you sell the company, or do you plan to sell the company? And whether the opening of the new offices and the expansion is connected to providing the attractiveness of the company. You know, Alexei, my second partner, founding partner with Rocket, we've been developing marketplaces for quite a long time. Again, we've met at the Groupon company, and we have been inspired by the Groupon company because they're built in one unified ecosystem altogether. And after that, we've been hitting this one point, and we didn't have this idea of selling the company, didn't have it still. So we're trying to build up the infrastructure that is going to solve a lot of different tasks and a lot of different issues, and is going to bring the value to multiple amount of people who are using this platform, and the partners who were helping up as well, who were bringing their product flow. So I cannot answer this question. We don't have the goal of selling the company yet. Thank you very much, Ivan. You know, we have one big ambitious goals and one ambitious dream. The ambitious goal for us is that we want to help people all around the world to become more creative and to change the way people create content with the help of the machine learning, to simplify this process, to make it native process, to help people earn money for this process. And in order to influence the world with a better scale, you have to create a platform. So our goal was to create Reface from an app that everyone now knows as just an opportunity to change your face in one picture once, to turn it into a platform with the bigger opportunities, with a lot of tools based on the machine learning technologies, the one that will change the way people create content. Right now, the people had an idea in their head, they cannot implement it in the fastest pace, but then they will be able to do that with our help. Another goal for us, a dream for us, is to become a real big consumer company from Ukraine, a big product company from Ukraine. We have always thought, and we know that we're born in Ukraine. We now have an office in LA, we have an office in London and in Amsterdam, but still, we are born in Ukraine. We know that the main headquarter and the main heart of our company is going to be in Kiev on Podil. We really love this place. And what is important for us, it is important for us to become a company of that scale that will show to different young companies, or will help us, or to those companies that are only being created, to show that it's possible. Because when we were going through our past, we've been founding on the experience of the companies that had this experience before us, and they've managed to do something. And we've seen those first successes, and the first successes that we had in last year, we had a lot of feedback from the people that a lot of people didn't even know that Reface is a company from Ukraine. And we want to bring up this knowledge that Reface is the big consumer company coming from Ukraine. This is the essence that we broadcast inside of our company, inside of our market, and the one that we want to broadcast all around the world. Yes, thank you. And additionally, what we believe that we are now already bringing up some of the ecosystem efforts as well. Our early co-founders, our early investors, they have organized the Pava and I company that is the venture studio with the ML specifics. We have Rouge, that is a venture fund. So at next holiday, we're going to have the first ML hackathon in Ukraine. We have more than 250 participants there. And we are collaborating with Banda. We're going to have the Banda Reface Creative Camp, because we believe, and we strongly believe, this is a banal thing for us, but we are really, really believing in that. That's in between technology and creativity, and those things are really strong in Ukraine. We're going to building up the strong project and good project, and we want to show it with our own example, and we want to invest it. We want to show this combination between technology and creativity, and we want to help to bring it upload so that we'll have more and more big projects coming. Because even in the framework of the Reface, we had a different R&D team that is called Reface Collider, where the main essence is that we would like to use the Hadron Collider technology, that we would like to we would like to make this bounce between technologies and creativity. We do believe that the next big boom is going to be in Ukraine. The next big bang is going to be on this interconnection between the creativity and technology. And this is what we promote and broadcast. This is our mission. Yes, thank you very much. It's very emotional part. I know that your early investors, they've also have been very pragmatic about that, about this company, to earn results, to gain results with a good way of working them technologies, to use it in the proper way, and how to work with this security issues, to add up faces, because there's going to be some videos that no people should see. But then again, the questions of security. Yes, I've seen as your early investors have been talking about this roadmap and this way. Am I right with saying that? And yes, there are lots of details at every milestone, but overall, yes, a lot of questions are being asked. For example, the luxury company. Have you already packed? And like, who's gonna buy you TikTok? What company is going to be at your steps? But before that, when we didn't have this big traction and we didn't have a clear understanding whether it's going to work out or no, we had this points of view. But right now, our main goal for the next 5 or 10 years to grow this company, to make it better from Ukraine and to build this up for ecosystem and to influence the market overall. So our goal is big. We're not going to be selling our company, and we're going to be not going to believe it. We'll hope we'll succeed. Okay, another question that is very interesting for the people, the two questions. How much does Reface own? And what is the salaries of Reface? Reface is financially successful project. Okay, you're not going to give us the figure. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, speaking on goals and, from the PromoRepublic, we have been born in Ukrainian startup accelerator. And by the way, with Gitlab, and in this accelerator, the accelerator that was there, we had a couple of other companies that have become successful, even more successful than PromoRepublic. And they've had a couple of. Right now we're working on enterprise for the B2B technologies. We're working with it with the Ukrainian regions, and our main idea is to be successful. And we are targeting the Northern America. It's really hard to do being outside of this market because the SAS enterprise, that is basically, it's a very harsh business to build tech-wise, building up the deeper understanding of the main principles of the biggest companies from America, how they work. And this fact that we understand how it works, it's really good motivating. And we are trying to optimize the marketing in social media. We would like to democratize the marketing overall. So everyone could actually be engaged in marketing, but we will get the marketing, the opportunity to work with their target audiences. And based on immigration and migration, that we have to get up the puzzle parts, because I have been living in Estonia now. Right now I live in Finland, in Helsinki, to get some finances, to get some strengths, and to get to the moment. So we can actually be competitive to everything, and this is basically a challenge for us. It's hard to work from the outside, from the country that is not your native country, but sometimes you have to do that in order to gain some experience, in order to get better ambitious. And I'm sure that it has to be done by every entrepreneur all the time. To wait the magic for coming to the Silicon Valley? No. But I do believe that what you shouldn't just go take this one-way ticket, but you have to make this really targeted small trips. And you have to be very intensive on that. And I'm sure that it will help you to understand that the way the world works in those different countries where your investors and partners are located. Speaking on the finances, I think that the capital market and the trust market for the companies that are being founded in Ukraine, in Europe, and then in America is growing, and there's more and more capital available for us. So we should also focus on successes and on the healthy metrics inside of the companies. Then it will be easier to attract money, especially being here but not moving anywhere else outside of Ukraine. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very cool answers. Thank you very much. We just have 3 minutes more, and then 3 minutes more we will be pushed out of the stage because the next panel is going to get prepared. The great desire and great thoughts to you. I've tried to ask the questions that have been written by our audience in the framework of our discussion, just to have a couple of seconds each, and every one of you who would like to say something. And what would you like to say to the guys who are making businesses in Ukraine, who are ambitious, who are thinking about something, who are thinking about some insights that you have caught, that you have felt from one another? Maybe you can share that with the people. And we just have 3 minutes to do that. Well, I would like to agree to lots of people who have been saying that here today. So you shouldn't be afraid of being global. So this is something. There's nothing bad. So you can sell, it's just the same for us to sell our laser tag to Norway, but it is twice as profitable. But I think that the thing is that I've done before, and there's something that we have been talking about at the beginning of the panel, that's a special attention, and the challenges and opportunities for us is to engage talents as much as it needed. So I think that the biggest focus for me after this event is going to be that we need to have an HR brand and engaging talents for what Yaroslav has said. He doesn't really, he regrets that 70% of time he spent for fundraising, but I think that you will tell us later on that you would spend the same time to engage talents. So this is the same outline for me. But if you have no money, you have no talents. This hen and egg. Okay, guys, who else would like to share their opinions? I have one thing that I would like to say to everyone who's here. If you will just have to remember just one thing, please learn English. Study English. I'm serious. This is one biggest powerful investment that you can do in your life, for your sake, for your health, for the health of your children, for the Ukrainian national security, for the successes of your businesses. Learn English. Study English. A lot of people have some challenges with English. I don't know. You managed to learn Russian. Some of you people managed to learn Ukrainian. Is it that hard to learn English? Compared to how hard it is to build a company with a flow of dozens $1 million, it is really easy to learn English. Study English. Okay, study English so that to make Yaroslav happy. Let's do what this is. For Yaroslav's sake. Okay. After we will learn English, I also would like to mention this thing that basically each and every one of you, they should also be very tolerant to fails, because basically for all of the speakers here, we had a lot of fails. We had a lot of moments when we have been really falling down. So that was really something incredible. So if you don't have the time to do something, then you have to use it as experience, and you have to do that, and you have to use this experience for your next steps. And even right now with the rocket, we are not really believing that we're already successful or whatever. So we're starting every day as if from the very beginning, and we're going to make a lot of mistakes. And only by doing that, we can run to some kind of goal. So, okay, never give up. Okay, thank you. Ivan. I had an insight, and I believe this insight to be true, that today is the best day to be an entrepreneur. I think that today is the best day, twice as much good to become a tech entrepreneur from Ukraine. Because all of us here present at this panel discussion, this is not the first company that we have started. All of us, we have been doing something that we failed. And I do believe that this climate, this amount of opportunities that is currently in Ukraine, I think that this is something that is very fantastic, and I hope that you understand that right now. When you're going to be doing something right now, is going to be influencing you strongly in the next 5 years. It's going to influence Ukraine and the whole world. So please do not be afraid to launch your companies. Yes, thank you. I believe that it's very important, especially for the people who have already had the international experience, is to get back and to tell their companies and their people that you should not be shy. You should not be shy because the level of the competences is going to give you the 100% of success in career and abroad, because you're going to be cool in the global scale. And I do believe that we don't have this confidence, and we have to work on that. This is the first thing. But then again, if something worked out or it doesn't work out, so do not hold that back. Talk about that. Tell that on different events or different meetups. I am not enough of these meetups that we have. Yes, it takes energy, it takes time, but there has to be more and more meetups coming up, and to open the meetups for the people from other countries, and that means making them in English, and that means learn English. Okay. Yes, I would support you everything that the guys have said already, but I would like to also say that I had an insight while we were talking about that, and the people were talking about that. We were speaking about the metrics and the figures, and we have said that we should never forget about the essence of your businesses, because basically we're always thinking about the best ideas. We're thinking about the global tasks, but I think that sometimes we underestimate the execution models. So yes, think globally, but then again, please start doing something. And start doing something, because anyway, it's going to give you the understanding. Yes, take down your friends and relatives from your focus group. They are not the ones you have to be heading to. So start doing and get the live feedback from the people that owe you nothing. And then you will be moving in the right direction. Okay, thank you very much. That was Born in Ukraine panel. I hope you enjoyed just as much as we did. Thank you very much. Let's have a round of loud applause to our guys on the stage. Thank you. That was really, really cool. Thank you.